Riley here. It's Saturday. It's a little breezy out here today. And so I drove Cinderella to East Texas day before yesterday and put, I guess, probably 250 to 300 miles on the trip. And we passed through several counties. And before I left, I mentioned that we had a small oil leak. Well, I see no evidence that it got any worse or there's even any more. I'm wondering if the oil cap maybe wasn't totally tight. And also, I saw a little evidence of some oil around here last time. So it should be on the half quart mark if we didn't use any oil. And the reason why I say that is because I usually run it about half a quart low, or run them about half a quart low. So it is used about half a quart on the journey. That's a little more than I would have hoped for or liked, but it's not awful, and it runs fantastic. However, we did develop another issue. When we left, I noticed that it was pulling to the right really badly, and I wasn't in a place where I could do much about it, and so brought it home, didn't think much about it, and I thought, well, this weekend I'll take the brakes apart and see what's going on. So I went to drive it to the store yesterday, and lo and behold, it started making some horrible noises. And so I would guess that a bearing has let go, which is disappointing because it hasn't been that many miles ago since I replaced the bearings, and I'm pretty certain I put new ones in it and greased them, but who knows? We'll take it apart and see. Could be something else, but seems pretty certain to me that the bearing has let go. So it's probably long since time for me to overhaul the front end on this car. So maybe this is why I should get a clue to do some stuff. And Mom and I talked about it, and she's perfectly okay with me working on or upgrading the brakes, and also on a particularly desolate section of road through Hardin County, I discovered that the headlights are not pointed very well. And the reason why, I'm certain, is the little plastic adjusters underneath there are broken, because they always are brittle and broken with age. So that's another issue that has to get done. And so I'm wondering, is it time to upgrade this thing to LED headlights? I don't know. What do you guys think? And it's been suggested to me several times over the last week, and I agree, that we need to put some Poppy's patina on this thing, or some brand. Okay, if you guys have had experience with something, let me know. And another issue that I have to get fixed is the reason why the gas flap isn't on is because these two bolts are broken off almost flush with the body. So I got to come up with a solution for that. And my repair to the windshield wipers didn't work. I soldered a ground to the switch, the little terminal in the back of the switch, like everybody says to do. And guess what? The solder joint failed. So I'm going to go get a better gun and some better solder and do that in such a way that it'll stay stuck. But, you know, teething pains. I put this thing together, back in May, June, and I put a lot of miles on it. And the more I drive it, the more things I find. But that's okay, because nothing has left me stranded. And every time I find something, I fix it. All right, I'll be back in a minute, and I'll show you what I find inside the brake drum, if anything. Well, I identified the problem. I'm sure I replaced this bearing when I did the brakes on this car, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. And I'm also guessing that when I was in a rush to put this thing together this last spring, that I just surmised they were okay and thought I would come back to it, and then all the hustle and bustle I forgot. So anyway, I'll take everything apart, replace the bearings, the races, the grease seal. I'm going to show you how you can potentially save the grease seal, and sometimes you can reuse them or not. After you pull the front bearing and the retainer out, put the nut back on part way and pull it out. And if I can do this one-handed, and there you go. There it came, the bearing and the seal. And look at that one. That one doesn't look terrible. It's got some grease in it, not a lot, but it's got some grease in it. And the other one's dry as a popcorn fart. So onwards to the repair. Well, we're underneath the front of Cinderella. You notice that? Somebody put a tow hook in there at some point and ripped the body and bent the front valance. And the bottom of the trunk is bent, but I didn't do it. But if you look over here, I don't know how well you can see, I don't know if there's glare or whatever, but look at the floors in this thing, man. They have surface rust in them, but they're solid as a rock. The top of them has all been done and sealed. The bottom has not. That is my, am I centered in the frame? My faucet electric fuel pump over there. There it is. And that's a really good pump. It will dry lift up to like 6 feet. It has a check valve in it, so it maintains a little bit of pressure on the system. And it's noisy as hell, but I'll take that trade-off for some reliability. I'm going to do some things to try to quieten it up. And I just was playing with the front end. I've got some wander in the front end, and I've pretty well determined it's in this pitman arm bushing here. And again, I don't know how well I can do that, but can you see and hear that? I don't know exactly what's going on there. Some slop right there. Anyway, probably have this thing all turned crazy, but you get the idea. I'm going to work on it and figure some of this stuff out. So, let me turn this thing around. All right, here I am in my normal habitat, laying on the ground underneath a car. So, the game plan here is I'm going to go rob a wheel bearing off my parts car that I have here, because that's the quickest, easiest, and cheapest way to get this thing going again. I'll take the other side apart, take the bearings out. I'm going to clean them all, re-grease everything, readjust the brakes, and the brakes, everything is new in terms of, well, I say new, it's several years old, but everything was replaced. The hoses, the steel lines, the wheel cylinders, the shoes, the spring kits, etc., etc. But this car did not have self-adjusters on it when new, and it still does not. And I don't know if you noticed in the when I had the camera the other way, but this car also is not equipped with a front sway bar. And so this is the one that Ralph Nader hated. Personally, I don't find it too bad to drive, but maybe, because, well, anyway, draw your own conclusions. I'll be back at you in a few minutes when we put this thing back together.